Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird in New York City. You're just looking at some books, some of which I'm reading. I'm reading this one. This is one I wrote with my daughter Robin Birdsong, Sneezes a Greasy Babysits Abigail. This is the album Supernatural, which I showed in part 1 of this video called Eve Has Air Sex with the Sun and Tom Fitton. This is a book that Gurinder Singh, Jesus Christ, put together to show us how to create a physical heaven on earth. This is Thump. It's a comic book. It's not a comic book, but it's a book, but it's funny. And it's about Thump. And it's funny. So I suggest you buy it for your grandchildren. Okay, so let's get started on part 2 of Eve Has Air Sex with Sun and Tom Fitton. During our discussion about Catholic priests, Robin Birdsong, who sits and meditates for 2.5 hours a day, was praising the priests in the Catholic Church for the discipline they have to be able to pray on their knees for I don't know how long. I told her when I was a child I lived with my devoutly religious relatives, Aunt Donnie and Brother Wright. Don't tell Robin. She doesn't want to know her past lives. I don't know if she doesn't believe she had them or what. Robin was actually Aunt Donnie, and Brother Wright was her brother. This life sing bird song. My son, this life. Shadow play. So, same energy, different bodies to match different roles. Now that we're consciously living in eternity, I've found many of myselves expelled from my body, the negative, evil people. I don't have to change bodies to fit roles because I'm going to be myself. This body with the cells, cells, scenes, selves, I choose to love for eternity. Ditto the family of past and current loves. In other words, I'm going to live with the family I have found that I loved throughout my 10,000 plus births. And it's not that many. You think there'd be more than, probably not even 100. Okay, now I lost my place. Here we are. Gurinder Singh Ji put a quote on the back of the book he had compiled. He personally approved each photo of Charan Singh Ji, Jesus Christ, 1st century and 20th century, Santa Claus, also, before it could be included in the book called Legacy of Love. He put a quote on the back that said something like, I hope you'll learn, that Charan Singh had said, I hope you'll learn to embrace the invisible, as it is more powerful than the physical. Charan Singh Ji, Jesus Christ, and my brother Gurinder Singh Ji were preparing me for the supernatural that I now experience. I see Adam on cable TV and YouTube communicating with me at the level of energy with visuals and audio, body language and sounds, songs and words. That's all invisible, but it's real. I talk and share, okay? Much of what I talk and share about is information I picked up reading energy, which is sensing truth using my sixth sense. I did not see that movie. I think an Indian, M. Night Shyamalan, something like that, wrote and directed it. It was released on August 2nd, 1999, talking about the movie The Sixth Sense, the month and next day after Robin and Gurinder Singh's birthday, August 1st. They were born on the same day. Okay? Gurinder. Radha, R for Radha, S for Swami, which means Lord of his soul. Is Lord of his soul. All the energies in his body. He's the boss of them. He's the boss of his mind. His mind is not the boss of him. I'm reading Tony Robbins' book called Money, Master the Game, and in it he talks about one of the billionaires he interviews says, you can't succeed until you master your mind. You know, big time success until you master your mind. So the invisible world that I was prepared to embrace is much of what I write about and share and teach about. I started to tell you that like the Catholic priests get on their knees to pray, Brother Wright, when I was a child, he was healthy and elderly, yet he would get on his knees and pray for 2 hours every night. I would get on my little knees beside Brother Wright, Charan Singh Ji, Jesus Christ, sing Birdsong, Wilbur Wright. This is all the same person. Half of the Wright brothers who built an airplane and flew it to start the aviation industry that evolved to space travel. Andoni was a tall, plus-size woman. She was obese, but she'd sit in a chair, bow her head, close her eyes, concentrate on listening to Brother Wright pray for 2 hours. So she was right with him. Charan Singh Ji said prayer is all right. It strengthens the will. That's why, and you need the will. You need a will to control your mind. Okay? That's why the Muslims pray 5 times a day, and they have the will to dominate the world. That's why they're winning. The rest of the world have become atheists and agnostic. They hardly pray. And so the Muslims who have, they have no will to defend themselves. Of course, that's changing. I see that that's changing. The world is changing. You know, the people are electing people who care about them. So, okay. So anyway, that's why Brother Wright lived his faith perfectly, because his will was strong, because he prayed all the time. Regularly. He prayed at lunch, too, and he prayed, my mother used to say, he prays for everybody. And so did Andoni live her faith nearly perfectly. I was so fortunate that my mother, once the St. Babaji, had me live with them. So I got the Christian religion information and have as role models 2 of the best in the West. Indeed, they are and have led lifetimes upon lifetimes of being great people. That is why Robin Birdsong, who was Andoni, who was also once Queen Victoria of England and the Empress of India, Michelangelo, Galileo, St. Francis of Assisi. That's why I'm living here at cheap food, at St. Francis of Assisi residence. I credit Robin with that, and the founder, Father Tom, and the program director, Chris. They were both disciples of Jesus Christ, and they were both my husbands. So that's what I'm saying. There's no accident about who's in your life and who's helping you. Okay, Robin was also Voltaire, the writer. She was Dr. Seuss, an author of the children's moral tale, Sneezy the Greasy Babysits Abigail. See? Robin's name is on there. She was Dr. Seuss. And the reason I came up with the idea was because I had been the Disney of India, Pran Kumar Sharma. You know, so you see, it's these things. There's no accidents. There's reasons for everything. And so Robin is destined to become the first black queen of England. I can read the future sometimes as well. And sing Birdsong, once Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh Ji, Jesus Christ consciousness, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, George Gershwin, King Arthur Vangelis. Oh, he's a Greek electronic music composer. There's a projection of Sing here because the guy's still alive. Jimi Hendrix, projected to lie stone, has been appointed King of America. His mission, President Trump stays president, Vice President Mike Pence remains vice president. Okay. His mission, Sing Birdsong's mission, is to acquaint the world with jazz, which along with classical music makes plants grow and thrive. It's a healthy, positive, good music. George Gershwin taught those who became jazz greats. Sing Birdsong was also George Gershwin. George Gershwin was also a classical composer, and he also wrote the Black Opera. What is it called? I love that. And it's called Porgy and Bess. Oh, I'm so glad I remembered. George Gershwin wrote that. And Ira Gershwin, which Eve, Mary, Evangeline, Einstein, all these persons, same person, D. Michelle Birdsong, was Ira Gershwin. George Gershwin. He was a lyricist. Okay, so I said, I think Sing Birdsong, his brother, his ruler, his mother, her very first husband, Sing's niece, and nephews are going to form a jazz group that will play all over the country, perhaps the world, on the weekends. The skies are so crowded, the sun has determined, the SUN sun has determined that only the royals of the world, those who serve the people of the world, such as heads of states, can fly. The sky was supposed to be the domain of the birds. Savages have taken to shooting them out of the skies, and they're bullies as well. Really extreme bullies. That should be punishable by death, a life for a life. Hunting should be outlawed as well as poaching the elephants and other animals. If some want to hurt so badly, they have only to hunt. If some want to hunt so badly, they have only to wait and die and get the body of a jungle animal where you'll truly have to hunt to eat. Of course, you'll have to stay on guard at all times because as an animal, you'll be hunted by other animals. That's only fair. The more you learn about life, the more you can see that life is ultimately fair. You come to America if you deserve to live in heaven. You must leave America if you don't deserve to live in the physicalized heaven on earth. And that's it. That's the end of part 2. And I made some mistakes in part 1. One mistake I made was saying that if you want to see those videos about air sex with Devin Gangadine, Buzz Aldrin projection, you go to Mild Red Birdsong Channel, not Michelle Birdsong Channel, Mild Red Birdsong Channel. Okay, I made a couple other mistakes, but I'm not remembering. These videos are not edited because it's just me. I'm doing all of this by myself. Okay, I'm collecting the pictures, I'm taking the pictures, I'm having the pictures developed, I'm paying for the pictures, I'm doing the writing, I'm doing the recording, I'm doing everything. I have no staff, okay? Gurinder Singh is with me 24 hours in my ear, and he certainly is helping me. And the sun talks to me and gives me power and helps me as well. But I'm just saying I have no secretaries, no research staff, nothing like that. Okay, so you'll understand if, we're just kind of homespun. I like homespun anyway. It's natural. I like natural. Mild Red Songbird. I'm going to go now. Get a drink of water. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.